Morning, fellas. I promised you guys to show all of my accounts, including the bank, and after killing Sea Engineer, I can now confidently say that I'm quite happy with where I am. I now have gear on all of my accounts, and I am ready to show them. A lot of you might be wondering, how many accounts do you have? There's a lot of them here, if you haven't noticed. And I was today years old when I found out that there's a login limit. I cannot log in any more accounts. This is all I can log in at once. So this was all I could fit in the picture, unfortunately. Now, if you've watched some of my previous stuff, you know I'm a big fan of multitasking, and I've done that since I started playing this game. If you've been watching me for a while, you're probably quite familiar with seeing a lot of clients at the bottom of my screen. So over the years, I have built these accounts, all of them nearly complete. So let me take you through the banks and the achievements on all of them, starting with, of course, my main. Now this is by far the wealthiest, however not the most complete. I have 11.5 bill in this bank, and I fully understand that me making this video is essentially begging to get recovered. But hey, at some point I am going to have to show you guys it, and if it happens, it happens. So a lot of these banks will follow a similar format. I typically use all of my supplies in the first tab, with all my runes, etc. Everything that I would use for pking, pretty much. Followed by a gear tab. The gear tab is probably where most of the wealth lies. I have nearly 8 bill in here, including a lot of the new TOA stuff, which unfortunately I haven't really gotten to play around with that much, but it's nice to have. Followed by an untradeable tab, which I have completed TOA in terms of the jewels, which is quite cool. Junk tab. And I think this used to be a farming tab, to be honest, but I don't know what it is anymore. More junk. Junk. Junk.
It's called 30, it's junk. Go back. That's not junk. That was third age, bro.
Wait, which? Oh, this one.
That's not junk.
I'd like to say that I tried to organize my banks for you guys, but you'll probably see a common pattern here. I'm a bit of a hoarder. Moving on to the next account in line, we have my range tank, which has 96 attack. For those of you that don't know, before single plus was released, skim TBing was quite a viable method for catching full TBs on people, so this account was pretty much specifically built for that. It is 109 combat. Quite a cool account. I like this one a lot, I'm not gonna lie. And it has 1.5 bill on it, with yet again similar stuff. We have runes, teleports, supplies, all in the first tab. Bit of junk here, ignore that. Followed by my gear tab. Now this account I am actually quite proud of. It has a magma helm, it has the Zulra pet. Couple of cool things. It does have DS2, however I'm pretty sure I lost the Avers. And then more junk. Junk. And whatever this. Bringing on to account number 3, we have my 60 attack med, which honestly doesn't get that much use anymore. I think in terms of viable brackets, this account kind of died out. This account used to be sick for killing pures and whatnot. Nowadays though, it kind of just sits and collects dust. But as usual, main tab with pots, supplies, whatever else, got my cash. And my gear tab, which is worth 1.6 bill. We have 1.39 bill, the total bank value. I think somewhat of an untradeable tab, not sure what's going on here. Followed by more junk. And more junk. Now, I do understand a lot of you are probably going to say, how the fuck can you call that junk? That's like 100 mil. If I'm honest, whenever I kill someone, I kind of just dump all of that shit into my bank. It goes into bank tabs. I could not tell you what's worth 100 mil in here. I genuinely could not. And I will probably never be bothered to actually sell it until it accumulates to a worthy amount. For account number 4, we have my Pure, which recently got 2 defense. If anyone saw that clip on Twitter, I can display it on screen. Quite a tragic event. But 800 mil on this one. We have not as organized of a main tab, but this one uses a bit of a different format. I have my pot tab and runes tab here. My gear tab, which on a Pure, there's not really that much stuff that you can use. So in terms of bank tabs, I'd say this is probably as good as it gets. Junk tab, more junk, junk, and junk. And for account number 5, we have my 60 attack Zerker, which was one of the most recent ones that I built. This is probably the most recent account I have to be completed. Although it's not really completed. It's lacking strength and HP levels, but it's low combat right now, and I kind of prefer it that way. So we have 571 mil in this bank, some third age. I believe this one is a bit more disorganized. My void, quite a lot of quests done. Pretty much a completed 60 attack zerk as far as quest-wise and whatnot. We have supply tab here, followed by a lot of junk. Couldn't even begin to explain this tab, to be honest. This one, I believe, was used for skull tricking way back in the day. And more junk. Moving on to account number... I don't even know what we're on. 6? We have my 30 Def Pure, which used to be my regular Pure. But I held a charity event where if we reached, I believe it was $2,500 donated, the chat could pick an account of mine to ruin. Ruin being, I don't know, getting attack levels on a 75 attacker, getting defense level on a pure, and they picked my pure. So now it is a 32 def account with no real purpose, to be honest. Missouri did release, which means I now have third age for mage, Inquisitor for melee, and Missouri for range. But considering how expensive they are, I don't think it'll get much use. But it has 255 mil on it. As you can probably understand, I don't use this account that much. So therefore, it doesn't have that much money. But main tab, bunch of junk. We have the pot and runes tab, supply tab, whatever. And this account, I remember I set up to have different tabs for each bracket, well, each style of gear. So we have mage, range, melee, and then a bunch of junk. 15 mil in this one, 600k, 7 mil, 22 mil, and 7 mil. Account number 7, and my personal favorite, the account with the name Swedish, which is my Zerker. It's just a regular 76 attack Zerk now. But this account is by far my favorite. In terms of Zerkers, I don't think there's any more enjoyable bracket to PK on. But it has quite a significant amount of value. 564 mil on this account, which gets you quite far on a Zerker. It even has third age, for example. Has pretty much everything that I need, with the gear tab being in front, followed by supply tab, and some form of chef tab, I don't even know. Junk, 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 and more junk. Account number 8, I think, not sure. We have a 99 def med, well, 98 def, which coincidentally got 82 attack. I kind of had the attack level before the Fang was released, but now that the Osmoten's Fang has released, it pretty much is just a Fang med. It has all the supplies at the top, with 859 mil in the bank, followed by the gear tab, with a Fang, of course. The untradeable tab, which is just void, to be honest. Followed by junk, 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 more junk, and junk. On to the second favorite account. This is just a regular med, and it's probably the one you see me use the most, aside from the West Ham account. It's probably my most prestigious account in terms of how much I actually enjoy PKing on it. And we have 2.6 bill in the bank. Oh. With a shitload of junk in the main tab. This account only really uses one tab, to be honest, which is this one. It kind of just has everything that I ever use. This account really uses nothing but void. I don't think I ever really PK in anything else. Aside from the fact I do have Ancestral Armadillo and whatnot, I just find void to be so extremely fun that I don't really tend to use anything else. It has 1.5 bill in this tab, 11 mil here, bunch of junk, more junk, more junk, and more junk. Everything kind of gets dumped in the main tab on this one. And here we have the same account as before, but with 75 attack instead of 82 and 99 def. with a 768 mil bank. You can kind of tell I recently set up a lot of this shit. With the supply tab in the front, followed by the gear tab, and then untradables, junk, junk, and more junk. I believe this is account number 10 or 11. I honestly don't even know anymore, but this is just another range tank. Pretty much same as before, except it has 75 attack, 70 strength, which is actually the appropriate build that you're meant to have. The other account is a couple combat levels higher than it should be, as this one has 90 prayer, but is the same combat, if not one lower. But with the bank, pretty much following the same format. Supply tab in the front, with the gear tab here, and then a bunch of junk. Going over to the last account, this is just a failed main, to be honest. Unfinished main, you could say, with 688 mil in the bank, with the supply tab in front as per usual, gear tab, junk, junk, and more junk. Moving on to accounts that aren't mine, I didn't make them. However, the friends I had that quit the game generously gave me their accounts to play on, and being a PKer, you can never have too many accounts, especially when you rely on people not knowing who you are in-game. So, I was generously given this account, and aside from the stats and the account itself, the bank is all mine, pretty much. With 2.3 bill on the account, follows same format as always, with supply tab in the middle, followed by gear tab, the untradable tab, and junk, 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 and more junk. Onto the final account, which also is not mine, is a complete maxed account with 1.1 bill XP, and funnily enough, this account used to be an Ultimate Iron Man. This used to be the rank 3 Ultimate Iron Man. Now, my friend de-ironed it, and shortly after quit the game, passing me the account. But if you look on the high scores, this account is still rank 13, I believe, on the Ultimate Iron Man high scores. So quite the impressive account. Yet again, I didn't do anything to build this account. The only thing I have is the belongings inside of the bank, which for this one is 2.1 bill with the same stuff as before. All the pot tabs, supply tab. Couple junk here. Got Osmoton's Fang and Award, Sanguinesti stuff. Gear tab followed after with 1.3 bill in it. Got quite some good stuff here with untradable tab after. Junk, 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 and more junk. Now, since the release of loot keys, Jagex actually added a very cool feature where you can check the amount that you've PK'd from loot keys. So I'm going to go through all of my accounts. This one has PK'd 3.7 bill, followed by the West Ham account that has PK'd 5.1 bill. The Wilfred that has PK'd 351 mil, Birdie Def Pure that has PK'd 45 mil, the Attack Med that has PK'd 583 mil, my 60 Attack Zerker that has PK'd 132 mil, my Failed Pure that has PK'd 811 mil, my med level that has PK'd 5.5 bill. That is a lot more than what I thought it would be, not gonna lie. Did not expect it to have that much. It's Zerker, which has 121 mil. Another main, which has 7.1 bill PK'd. Range tank that has 108 mil PK'd. And lastly, we have 1.3 bill PK'd on the failed main. And that is all of my accounts on RuneScape that I have built since 2015 when I started old school RuneScape. Thank you all for watching. I do have one special announcement though. Since I took Sea Engineers Hardcore, I thought it was only appropriate that I now carry the torch and make my own PvP Hardcore. I have spent 2 days, 8 hours, and 30 minutes since I arrived on this account 6 days ago. The first episode will be out in a couple days, so expect that soon. But thank you all for watching, and I'm gonna hope that Jagex's account security will protect me on this one. Not getting my hopes up though. Take care, fellas. Bye bye.